As someone who grew up on the Disney animated classic from 1937, Snow White, I absolutely have a soft spot for this particular Disney princess. I've yet to read the Grimm Brothers version, but it is on my list to read, and I do know that the two are vastly different from each other. When it was announced that Snow White was getting its live-action adaptation, I was really on the fence of it. I know that Disney is currently doing a whole live-action phase of all their old stories, and some of them have been more misses than hits, but hey, girls gotta love it no matter what. I know with the during the filming of this movie, a lot of commentary came out, not just of Rachel Zegler talking about how this is not a princess movie, how it's not about the prince, how it's more about a woman saving herself, you know, fighting for her life and being powerful, in a sense describing Mulan, which is not this movie. I know people have viciously attacked Rachel Zegler for her skin tone, which, look, it's one thing to attack a movie, but it's another thing to attack a human being who does not deserve to be attacked by their skin tone. So I'm going in this movie with an open mind. From my perspective, the 1937 animated classic is never about the prince. A lot of Disney's princess movies are never actually about the prince themselves, but rather the princess and their domesticated life. That sounds weird, but let me explain. In my eyes, because I have recently revisited Snow White, in my eyes, this movie is a story of escaping abuse from a parental figure. This story is about the jealousy of a woman on a young child. This story is about, you know, the concept and the structure of reminding children that they need to feel safe and loved, and if they're not feeling safe and loved, they have the opportunity to either A, find safety, or B, go source someone to get them out and save them. Now, in the 1937 film, Snow White obviously runs away from home because the woodsman's trying to cut her heart out, because the stepmother is trying to take the beauty from this very innocent woman. It is described that Snow White is under the age of 18, and a lot of people like to go, oh my god, you know, the prince is too old. But from the adaptations and the versions that I've come to research, Snow White and Prince Charming are pretty much the same age, so there's no creepiness in it. A lot of people like to just focus heavily on the romantic aspect and completely strip away the necessities of what this story is really trying to tell. With me going into this movie with an open mind, I am bearing in mind that this won't be the 1937 animated Disney princess classic. Instead, it's going to attempt to be its own with a twist on top. So I will bear that in mind. So let me tell you my opinion of the 2025 Snow White live-action adaptation. Let me start off by saying that not everything needs to be a musical. Not everything needs to be produced as if it's a stage adaptation. After sitting through this, now I know, and I completely went into this being aware that this would not be anything like the 1937 animation. But what I didn't realize is how much they drastically changed, and how unnecessarily there were dialogues and scenes that did not need to be in there. The narration, for starters, wasn't necessary. The over-explanation, particularly in the opening scenes and pre-Wicked Witch, Wicked Stepmother, those scenes did not need to be in there. Your audience are not stupid. Children are not stupid. Children who come to watch Disney movies are very open-minded. They are very clever. But I feel as if this movie tried its hardest to be Mulan. Tried its hardest to be a knockoff Mulan storyline, calling her fearless, brave, fair, true. A lot of that commentary is dedicated to Mulan herself. Mulan is a warrior. Snow White was never intended to be written as a warrior. Even in the Grimm Brothers adaptation, she is not a warrior. Snow White is one, possibly the only Disney princess that has the darkest story for a Disney story. Her whole purpose is that she comes from an abusive household. Her whole purpose is that she tries to find safety and escapism. This movie made it feel as if there was nothing to her. All she did was speak. The dwarves. Okay, look, this is gonna feel very ableist, very tall, very rude, and I do apologize because that is not my intention to sound rude, but I just don't know how to say this without coming off as a, well, problematic person. In the 1937 animation, the dwarves, yes, they are smart. I do not classify them as dumb characters. I classify them as cunning and smart and very on tune to what is in their surroundings. But the dwarves in this movie make it feel like as if they know too much, as if they've gone through university, as if they know how to speak, as if they are a scientist, or as if they are a professor. I'm not saying that little people are stupid, but I'm just saying the dwarves in this, they are too calculatingly smart and too over the top on tune to what was happening in their surroundings. At times almost unnecessarily speaking and unnecessarily being seen. It's a very characteristic, very unnecessary. Yes, Doc is the smartest out of the 7 dwarves, but he doesn't feel like an arrogant smartass who needs to have his degree yanked off him. Like, in the promo it said Snow White is not about true love. They still made it about a man saving Snow White. Except they got rid of Prince Charming and put in Jonathan. By the midway point, I started thinking that this was Into the Woods, or it was The Greatest Showman, or it was a TV adaptation. By the end of the movie, my final thought was this was straight to video. It took away the purpose of Snow White. It took away the essence. To me, Snow White was one of my comfort princesses. In recent years, I cosplayed as Snow White. Like, to me, she is comfort. She is home. She is my security blanket. And it's as if they used her name, but ripped everything away that was her purpose. She was the one character that was supposed to define to children that it's okay to escape an abusive household. In this, Gal Gadot's wicked stepmother is not referred to as a stepmother. She's referred to as queen, which arguably I will leave that topic alone. But her play as a queen almost felt as if I was watching a Taylor Swift music video. And as a Swiftie, that feels like an insult, and it is. I'm intending it as an insult. It's as if Gal Gadot was like, I'm in a music video and I'm going to play her as over top and as if I'm portraying her in a quick 5-minute, 10-minute video rather than using the power of this character. Even the songs in this felt unnecessary. Yes, Disney is known for their songs and they normally do a brilliant dish job. A lot of tunes I still whistle on my way to work. But the songs in this are not memorable. The songs in this are not songs that I could picture myself passing on to future generations. The songs that in this don't feel like they have a purpose. This whole movie does not feel like it needs to exist. It is essentially a straight-to-video Snow White adaptation using her likeness and her name without a purpose.